welcome to our very special show, The Election Highway. And today we are joining you from the beautiful state of Odisha, which of course is famous for its rich cultural and artistic heritage, its sun-kissed beaches, serene lakes and stunning temples. Now, I have been enjoying the sights of Orissa, but also capturing the political sounds. A warm welcome to our viewers from the state of Odisha.
समस्त को बहुत नमस्कार, बहुत प्रणाम।
And the politics is heating in the state of Odisha. Election fever has gripped the state. It's a clear contest between the BJP and the BJT, with the Congress far behind. But the BJP really hogging all the limelight. They are locked in a fierce contest. I have these youngsters behind me today. बहुत टक्कर की लड़ाई हो रही है बीजेपी और बीजेटी। आप बताइए क्या मुद्दे हैं इस टाइम जो उड़ीसा पॉलिटिक्स को डोमिनेट कर रहा है?
एज अ स्टूडेंट अभी तो सबसे बड़ा मुद्दा मेरा एजुकेशन है। मेरा एजुकेशन ही मतलब गवर्नमेंट ने पूरा गेम कर दिया है उसका। एजुकेशनल लोन लेना पड़ रहा है एजुकेशन आपको मतलब ऑक्यूपाई करने के लिए। ये ऐसा कोई कंट्री में होता नहीं है। मतलब हम लोग यहाँ बिजनेस नहीं कर रहे हैं जो लोन लेके करेंगे किसी और के पैसे से करेंगे। तो जो IIM IIT के फीस 2014 से पहले 5 लाख 6 लाख थे, आज वो अबव 30 लाख जा रहे हैं। तो इस पर गवर्नमेंट कोई एक्शन ले नहीं रहा। तो मैं कैसे अब उस गवर्नमेंट पे और एक बार भरोसा करूँ कि मेरा 5 साल वो सिक्योर करेंगे। GST मतलब GST आप गुड सर्विस जो है GST आप एजुकेशन पे भी लग रहा है। 18% GST है एजुकेशन के ऊपर, कोई कंट्री में नहीं होता। टैक्स मतलब एजुकेशन टैक्स फ्री होना चाहिए। तो आप GST अगर आप एजुकेशन पे भी लगा रहे हो तो ये तो डर्टी पॉलिटिक्स है। और आप एक एजुकेशन भी आप फ्री नहीं दे पा रहे हो एक कंट्री में, तो ये फिर हम कैसे फिर आप मोदी सरकार पे वापस भरोसा करें। तो वही चीज़ है। तो आज अगर मैं एजुकेशन लोन लेके पढ़ाई कर भी लेता हूँ तो मेरे पे एक हेडेक रहेगा उसको EMI के थ्रू उसको फुलफिल करने का।
तो इस स्टेट में नवीन पटनायक का बहुत जोर रहा है। ही इज अ फॉर्मिडेबल फोर्स, मतलब वो चीफ मिनिस्टर रहे हैं 5 टाइम। क्या उड़ीसा नवीन पटनायक को फिर से पावर में लाएंगे?
मेरे ख्याल से इस बार भी नवीन जी आएंगे पावर में, और जिस तरह पिछली बार आए थे 2019 में, इस बार भी तकरीबन सीट की जो असेंबली के सीट्स वो बराबर आसपास ही रहेंगे। और बाकी लोकसभा के क्षेत्र में भी थोड़ा इधर उधर हो सकता है, लेकिन नवीन सरकार BJD सरकार पक्का है 2024 में।
बट इस टाइम बहुत मतलब बीजेपी कह रही है उनका वोट शेयर बढ़ेगा। बीजेपी कह रही है कि जो हवा चल रही है, जो हम अभी सब एंजॉय कर रहे हैं यहाँ पर, वो मोदी सरकार की हवा चल रही है। आपको क्या लगता है?
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, उड़ीसा में परिवर्तन चाहिए और परिवर्तन होगा भी। उड़ीसा में ऐसा मुख्यमंत्री चाहिए जो उड़िया भाषा को ठीक से बोल सके, उड़िया भाषा को ठीक से लिख सके। तो उड़िया का अस्मिता जो है, और भी जो बात चल रहा है, हवा चल रहा है, उड़िया का अस्मिता, उड़िया का प्राइड, तो उसको पहले हम रिस्टोर करना चाहेंगे। वो ही हमारा फंडामेंटल रूट रहेगा। इस इलेक्शन का मुद्दा भी वही है। तो उड़ीसा में परिवर्तन दिखेगा और परिवर्तन का प्रोसेस भी ऑलरेडी चल चुका है, और निश्चित आगे वाले चुनाव में रिजल्ट में परिवर्तन जरूर निकलेगा।
आपको लगता है यहाँ पर आप सब उड़ीसा से है कि उड़िया अस्मिता जो है डेंजर में है, खतरे में है, ऐसा कुछ लोगों को लग रहा है यहाँ पर उड़िया में, उड़ीसा में?
देखिए ऐसे तो नहीं लग रहा है, मगर कुछ पार्टी उड़िया अस्मिता की बात कर रहे हैं। मगर ज़्यादातर अब देखें उड़ीसा में जो गांव देहात हैं, इस बात की कोई अहमियत नहीं है। मगर हाँ, इस बात के ऊपर सब लोग ये बोल रहे हैं कि डेवलपमेंट किस तरह से हो रहा है और आगे ये कैसे चलेगा। BJD सरकार आप जानती हैं एक लंबे अरसे से उड़ीसा में है, और BJD जब से आई है तब से धीरे धीरे करके इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलपमेंट हुआ है। तो ये BJD अगर कटक की बात करें, कटक में देखिए जो जगह में हमें है, यहाँ 10,000 करोड़ का इन्वेस्टमेंट BJD का हो चुका है। SCB मेडिकल का रिनोवेशन यहाँ पे हो रहा है, और जो तालदंडा कैनाल है उसका भी काम चल रहा है। लगभग एक तरह से कटक चेंज हो रहा है। तो ये जो चेंज अभी हो रहा है ये आगे भी बना रहेगा, BJD का यही मोटो है। मगर BJP का ये कहना है कि जो चेंज हो रहा है वो सिर्फ लिमिटेड एरिया में हो रहा है। तो आगे इसके ऊपर डिपेंड करता है लोगों के ऊपर, तो कैसी सरकार वो चाह रहे हैं और ये जो प्रोसेस है ये आगे कैसे जाए।
जी जी So as you can see there, it is a very strong contest between the BJP and the BJD. There's a lot that's happening between both these parties indulging in the blame game, both accusing each other. I also got a chance to spend a lot of time in Puri. Puri, of course, being the home, the abode of Lord Jagannath, known for its pristine beaches and its absolutely stunning beauty. And interestingly, I got a chance to catch up with Sambit Patra. Now, Puri, of course, as I said, is a haven of tranquility and natural beauty. And Sambit Patra, is also someone who has completely immersed himself in the politics. He has made Puri his home for the last 5 years, and he's exuding confidence of winning these elections this time around after having lost in 2019. Let's listen in from the former BJP spokesperson. From a trained surgeon to a powerful combative spokesperson and now an extremely popular politician who clearly made an impact ever since he was thrown into the Lok Sabha poll ring in 2019, Dr. Sambit Patra has immersed himself in Odisha politics and he is making his presence felt very strongly. Joining us on CNN News 18 is Dr. Sambit Patra. Dr. Sambit Patra, thanks so much for speaking to us on CNN News 18. Now, the last time you were the last minute entrant into the electoral fray. There was barely any time given to you, yet you fought a very close contest and now you've plunged yourself into Odisha politics. You've been working so hard. You've made this Puri your base for the last 5 years. What made you leave everything in Delhi and come and make your home here?
First and foremost, thank you, Avantika, for coming and covering us over here in Orissa, in Puri and in Nayagar actually. This is the Nayagar Assembly.
Yes.
I'm sorry for my bad throat. I've literally lost my voice.
Understand.
Shouting and giving speeches. I've lost my voice. And with me we have Pratyusha Rajeshwari Singh. She's the Rani. She's the queen of Nayagar from the royal family. She was formerly the member of parliament of adjoining area. I welcome her also into the show. And you can see the great rally that we are having today in Nayagar. This is almost a daily show in one of our assemblies in every nook and corner. And well, yes, as far as your question of why did I leave and join politics? Why did I leave everything and come to Puri? See, it is an organizational decision. Whatever the organization says, we follow it. The organization wanted me to contest election. I'm here contesting election. Last time I hardly got any time to campaign.
That's true.
I had only 15 days to campaign.
And yet it was a very close
It was
contest.
a very close contest. Had I got 15 more days, probably I would have won. This time I had been with the people of Puri for the last 5 years. I have not left them for even a single day. I have been with them through thick and thin, through their good and bad. So I firmly believe that people of Puri are with me and they're going to bless me with victory this time.
Wonderful. You say that you were given the opportunity and you are here. But you have gone 2 steps beyond that. You have immersed yourself. You have made this place your home. How confident are you that you are going to be winning this election this time around?
My look tells it all. Look, you won't even recognize that this is the Sambit Patra that you used to interview, have debates on television. And I'm really lost myself. I'm into the sun actually. I'm with the people. I'm on the ground, always in action. So I believe once you're one with the person, once you're one with the place, people don't distinguish you as a politician. People consider you as your family member. And moreover, the kind of hard work and the kind of Garib Kalyan Yojana that Narendra Modi ji has brought in to the whole of Orissa, the whole of India, my constituency Puri is also quite impressed with it, quite affected by it. And of course, most of the votes that we will get is because of the fact that Narendra Modi ji has worked really hard, toiled for it.
Now tell me something, Sambit. It's quite evident that the BJP and BJD are the 2 main parties that are locked in a fierce contest. I mean, I want to understand from you, sometimes you are good friends, there were talks of an alliance. Are you frenemies? Are you foes? You have so much bonhomie between the 2 parties at the center on some very important issues. There is agreement between Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister, and the Chief Minister here, Naveen Patnaik. But it certainly is not a friendly contest anymore here.
So of course not. The false perception of a friendly fight was built. That's not true, as you can see, as you have heard the Prime Minister already. And of course, I mean, there's no turning back to the point, no refuting the fact that, well, yes, we had sought help from them in the past. On the floor of Parliament, they had supported us on a number of issues. That's not no turning back on that. But as far as development of Orissa is concerned, as far as politics of Orissa is concerned, it's no doubt that we all feel that once the Modi model of development is implemented in Orissa, we'll surely see more achievement in Orissa than through any other political party.
I wanted to ask you, speaking of development, interesting that you say that, because the Chief Minister recently said that in the last 20 years, Odisha has made some great strides. In fact, has created history in areas of development. In fact, he's saying that Odisha is the top performer in terms of poverty alleviation. A Niti Aayog report also has stated that over 1 crore people have been uplifted from poverty. How do you respond? Because Dharmendra Pradhan says just the opposite. He says that, there are some very glaring issues that the state government hasn't paid any heed to, whether it is malnutrition, whether it is primary health care, which he says is a monumental disaster. It's an absolute failure. Your response to that?
So my simple response is, you are already on our campaign trail. This is a rural constituency. I'm going to the village. You please follow the campaign trail, come to the village, and for yourself, see the condition of the people out there. You are a thoroughly traveled journalist. You have traveled to the nooks and corners of the country. You have seen a Gujarat. You have seen a Madhya Pradesh. You have seen other states like Rajasthan, etc. But if you would go to the villages over here in Orissa, you would be really, astonished. You would be annoyed to see that people still stay in thatched roofs.
But then you also have very popular welfare schemes by Naveen Patnaik. Is that why the BJP is so miffed with the BJD that those welfare schemes haven't been introduced in the state government? You have the very famous Biju Swasthya Kalyan Yojana, you have the Har Ghar Jal Mission, you have Mission Shakti, all these popular welfare schemes by Naveen Patnaik. And he says that why do we need any welfare schemes from the centre when we have so many of our own benefiting the people?
See, just changing the name does not change the Yojana. If you name PM Awas Yojana as Biju Awas Yojana, it does not become your Yojana. It is only repackaging. The postman brings the money order from your father and delivers it to you. So remember, the postman is only the agency. So in fact, Naveen Patnaik's government is the agency which delivers what Narendra Modi gives. Just a bag in which you carry the 5 kg rice. That bag being provided by the government locally does not make you a people-friendly government. If you want to give something extra, give 5 kg rice extra. If you want to give something extra, then apart from your health card, allow them to have Ayushman card as well. Let them get double benefit. What's the problem? Most of the BJP ruled states have their own yojanas and they avail the Ayushman Yojana as well. So let the people have their own benefits of both the yojanas.
Tell me something. Very recently, speaking of the Prime Minister, in an exclusive interview to our channel, said that, you know of that, Odia Asmita is under threat, how the language is in danger. Why would the BJP make these accusations and allegations against the BJD and against Naveen Patnaik, whom the people have embraced for so many years? He's been elected for 5 terms. Why do you think the people of Odisha will buy this argument now?
See, as far as Orissa is concerned, Orissa is the first linguistically formed state. In 1936, on the basis of language, Orissa was the first state which was formed. So naturally, one of the classical languages, of the 6 classical languages that Indian Constitution has, Odia is one of the classical languages. So naturally, people would be very sensitive towards conservation of the language, towards conservation of the culture. Of course, these are issues of great importance, and when Narendra Modi ji, our Honorable Prime Minister, rakes up these issues, people are touched by the issues.
I wanted to ask you that the Prime Minister recently attacked the Chief Minister, saying that, daring him, literally throwing a challenge if he could name all the districts, and then you have Naveen Patnaik who's saying that, well, who's this leader who's going to be talking about Odia culture, our rich heritage, etc. I wanted to understand for you, why have relations soured so much between the two leaders? They are known to be having good relations in the past. Both the Prime Minister, in fact, has even praised Naveen Patnaik, calling him a Lokpriya Chief Minister. What has happened?
See, as far as calling someone Lokpriya Chief Minister, calling someone friend is concerned, these are minimum courtesies in election, which, quote unquote, a democratic Prime Minister follows. not a dictatorial one. So whatever criticism the opposition says, remember, those who say that he's a dictatorial Prime Minister should be answered to the fact that he's a democratic Prime Minister. He respects the opposition, but when the time comes, he speaks the truth. He attacks them with the truth as well.
Very quickly, if you're elected to power, your vision, your dream for Puri.
A developed Puri, a Puri of the dreams of the Puri people, employment, tourism. We would see to it that we have roads, we have bridge. This is what people need. And I now need to be with my people. Thank you so much, Avantika.
Thank you so much, Samvit, for joining us. Thank you so much. Okay, that was Samvit Patra, as usual, at his fiery, combative best, taking pot shots at the BJD and Naveen Patnaik. I just want to get a quick word. हमने Samvit Patra को भी सुना था. वो कह रहे हैं कि जो वेलफेयर स्कीम्स के ऊपर जब से मैं आई हूँ यहाँ पर उड़ीसा बहुत लड़ाई हो रही है. बीजेपी कह रही है कि जान पूछ के जो है बीजेडी वेलफेयर स्कीम्स सेंटर की नहीं ला रहे. बीजेडी कह रही है हम क्यों लेकर आए जब हमारे खुद के वेलफेयर स्कीम्स बहुत अच्छे काम कर रहे हैं और लोगों को बहुत बेनिफिट्स दे रहे हैं.
देखिए, ये दोनों का वेलफेयर स्कीम जो है वो सब एक जुमला है. उनका कोई उसका कोई यूज़ नहीं है, उसका बेनिफिट भी कुछ नहीं है. आम लोग तक वो स्कीम नहीं पहुंचा, उसका क्या मतलब है? उसका तो कुछ भी मतलब नहीं वो स्कीम में लाने का.
जी, आपको भी यही लगता है कि ये सारे जो स्कीम्स है, सारा जो भाषण बात हो रही है, ये सब
सारा जो स्कीम है वो पेपर वगैरह में रह गया है. जो स्लॉ में रह जाएंगे तो हमारा कटक ये तो टाउनशिप है जो कोरापुट वहाँ से मालकानगिरी वहाँ तो जाएंगे तो वो स्कीम नहीं पहुँच रहा है.
So I also got a chance to speak to Samvit Patra's opponent, Arup Patnaik. Now he is the former Mumbai Police Commissioner, you know, someone who's been exceptionally famous for that catchphrase, "Pehle action, baad mein section." Now he is once again contesting. He had lost last time around to Aprajita Sarangi, but he's very hopeful that earlier he was a novice and this time around he is confident that he's going to be winning these elections. In fact, he says that this entire controversy around Odia Asmita is nothing but a farce. It's something to divert the people's attention. Let's listen in from Mumbai's former top cop. Odisha is witnessing simultaneous polls. There's assembly polls, there's Lok Sabha polls. Now the BJP is exuding confidence. In fact, they're saying that they're going to, win handsomely. They will emerge triumphant, both the assembly. In fact, the Prime Minister, I know you don't want to rake up this issue, but the Prime Minister did say that 4th of June will be BJD's expiry date and that the state will witness the emergence of a new chief minister from the BJP. How would you respond to that?
No, I think that they are big people. They are entitled to their, whatever they want to say. I won't get into that area. But coming to your first point, that simultaneous elections, I think it has been simultaneous elections in Orissa and all through the assembly and the parliamentary, elections are being held to the same time. And regarding the BJP's claim, they have already made a claim last time also that they will get 120 seats. But again, our Honorable Chief Minister didn't answer that, but he answered back with a 114 win. It is like Tendulkar's speech telling that I will let the bat do my talking. In the same way, I think the 4th of June will answer all these questions. As I said, I don't want to get into what data or what information the Honorable Prime Minister is talking all this. As I said, I'm too small a person to answer to this, and our party is, meeting all this, whatever. I think they have to do this posturing. It is not, it's not uncommon. People have to do the posturing. How they will make, because we are not. This is not a friendly fight. Please understand, this is not a friendly fight.
So this is not a friendly tussle. Okay, let me shift the focus back to Puri. It's a high-profile constituency. It's a triangular contest. Now, you had lost to Aprajita Sarangi last time in 2019. How confident are you of securing a win? You've been given a chance for the second time. Have you changed things around this time?
Last time when I entered the fray, I was new to the entire process. I was given barely 20 days to fight the election, and I didn't know the process at all. What goes on, how to build the rapport. So all these things were new to me. In the last, I lost by a slender margin of 21,000. And after that, obviously when you do not do well in one examination, you try to cover up in the next attempt. So whether it's your UPSC, whether it's your GMAT, if you don't succeed in the first attempt, you find out the lacunas, you find out the gaps, and you try to cover, try to address all that. I have tried to do that. Fortunately, in the last 5 years, the Odisha government and especially the Honorable Chief Minister gave me a very good platform called Odisha Mo Parivar. So that was totally about public service. That was totally about helping people with blood donation, with cancer, with the entire thing. Last 4.5 years, I have not done much of any political or organizational work, but only this stuff.
Do you think that, the whole controversy around Odisha, Asmita, the language, its identity, self-respect coming under threat according to the BJP, do you think that, the Sri Mandir Parikrama will finally help you to win this election? Do you think that, because Sambit Patra has been saying that he's been working very hard, he's been immersed within the people in this constituency, what do you think is going to be the winning factor for the BJD this time?
You see, I don't want to talk about what my competitor is doing. As far as this Asmita question is concerned, I am a blue-blooded Odia. I am from this Puri district. And but I know that's if somebody is not, I don't consider it a negative factor. But I don't know anything about the Asmita and all this stuff. But I think it's a non-issue. Okay. Deliberately trying to put in by, because they're not finding any other issues. So just to confuse, just to divert the narrative. As regards the welfare measures, they are being seen by the last 23-24 years. Instead of anti-incumbency, the vote share is increasing. Every year, normally it should go down. But in Odisha, every year the vote share and also the seats are increasing. This is something which has baffled them. So that, the opposition is searching for something to divert, bringing in Odisha narrative and bringing in people. Now, where my competitor is from, which place, I don't know. He would know better. If he is working hard, he should. I think all of us should. If we are in a game. We're in the game of politics, we have to do that. But talking about any negativity about these welfare measures, I don't think that is going to cut any ice. It's going to boomerang on them.
And with that, it's time for us to take a very short break, but we will be getting you lots more political reactions from the big leaders who are fighting this interesting contest between the BJP and BJD in Odisha. Stay with us. Welcome back from the beautiful state of Odisha and to our special show, Election Highway. In fact, today this broadcast is from Cuttack. Now, Cuttack is often also referred to as Odisha's cultural capital. It's the second largest city of the state and it's always buzzing with cultural activities. This ground, in fact, where we're getting you this special coverage from is Bali Yatra. It's where the very auspicious festival of the Bali Yatra takes place, and my guests are also with us. Now, Cuttack is here. I'm here in Cuttack. I got a chance to speak to Santrup Misra. वो जो है Santrup Misra, वो तो बहुत confident है. Political novice है. सबसे पहले बारी वो लड़ रहे हैं. आपको क्या लग रहा है कि कटक किस दिशा में जाने वाली है?
देखा जाए तो हम लोग उनसे ज़्यादा नर्वस हैं और ज़्यादा इम्प्रेस भी है और ज़्यादा इंटरेस्ट भी उनसे ज़्यादा ले रहे हैं, क्योंकि पहली बार कटक एक राजनेता से एक अलग आदमी को देख रहा है जो कि एक लीडर इन एक ग्लोबल लीडर है, उसको देख रहा है और उनको पाना चाहते हैं. जो उनका मैनिफेस्टोज है, जिस तरह से वो हमारे साथ मिलते जुलते हैं, जैसे घुल गए हैं, वो हमें बहुत पसंद आ रहे हैं दिन भर दिन. तो हम तो ज़्यादा इंटरेस्ट हैं कि उन्हें आगे लाने के लिए, उन्हें ही संस्था में बिठाने के लिए.
बट आपके वो जो है मेहताब जी भी है, वो तो सिटिंग MP है. ही इज अ वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग कंटेंडर. फाइट इज क्वाइट इंटेंस बिटवीन बोथ ऑफ देम. एंड एज आई एम सेइंग कि विंड्स जो है कौन से दिशा में, कौन से डायरेक्शन में जाने वाला है, बीजेपी या बीजेडी?
we can't say anything about this. हम कुछ नहीं बोल सकते. Like it's very interesting and because those
Actually, it's a very interesting election in Odisha this time, right?
yeah, because the candidates, those who have been selected for the elections, I mean all the candidates are very strong and their manifestos are also like for the development of Cuttack के development के लिए सारे manifestos जो भी है बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग है. लाइक वी कान से कौन क्या कर सकता है, किसका किस तरफ से जा सकता है इलेक्शन.
वो तो भाई 4 जून को ही पता लगेगा कि where are the winds blowing. But speaking about Santrup Mishra, he is a political greenhorn. He has thrown his hat in the ring. He comes from a corporate background and he's someone who's also extremely confident about bringing new ideas, new freshness to the election campaign. I got a chance to catch up with him and this is what he had to say. You are going to be taking on a sitting MP, Mr. Mehtab, who's pitted against you. Are you excited about putting up this fight, or are you banking on Naveen Patnaik's enormous popularity to sail through?
So, first of all, it would be a complete misnomer if I were to claim that I'm fighting this election on my own. Anybody who has won anywhere in India, in history or today, barring exceptional few, have always won on the basis of their party, their leadership, their symbol. Anybody who wants to flatter themselves to say that I'm God's gift to mankind and on my own, well, there are very few. That's when independents win. But sometimes you find independents truly have got some silent backing of somebody. You read about it all the time in the media and everything. But yes, I am banking on Naveen Patnaik's popularity, Biju Janata Dal's strength and these symbols' inherent brand appeal to voters of Odisha. But at the same time, I'm also aware that a time has come where people are looking for an alternate kind of politics, an alternate profile. And with my outreach to people, I do get a sense that people respond to me because I'm not a conventional politician, because I bring freshness of ideas. You may have seen I published an ideas manifesto the other day. It's very rare, I don't know in Indian politics if ever any parliamentary candidate has presented a manifesto, that too calling it an ideas manifesto, which is not a really promise, about the constituency and each assembly segment therein. And I think that is an appeal. The other day I found people reading and quoting from it in a meeting, and I found people generally excited about elements that I have put in
but
there.
But does it resonate with the people on the ground? You know, the newness of ideas? Because change can be unnerving.
No, the change can be unnerving for me, but for them, I think perhaps they were looking for something fresh, different, new, unusual, if not unique, you know.
The criticism or the charge by the BJP against the BJD is that Naveen Patnaik is nowhere to be seen. He's become a recluse. He's someone who has been kept out of the loop, and there are others, or his clique, or his coterie, that are calling the shots.
I understand that. In fact, my argument would be to the contrary. That Naveen Patnaik has clearly defined as a statesman leader, what should his role be? He does not perhaps believe in every time building that personality cult about himself, being present everywhere and only talking himself. He lets his work talk. And he lets his work talk through the bureaucracy, through the normal machinery. And he comes in when he needs to speak. He has always been a man of few words and a very thoughtful human being, and who's always been concerned about the welfare of the citizens of Odisha. And don't forget this, if all of this were truth, 5 times you don't become a chief minister just like that, with growing popularity, with growing number of seats.
And that's how the BJD is giving it back to the BJP, rubbishing all the criticism around Naveen Patnaik, saying that there has never been anyone who can match up to his charisma, to his legacy, and that his winning streak will continue. Time for a short break right here on the broadcast. Stay tuned. I'll be right back with lots more. Welcome back to the beautiful state of Odisha and our special show Election Highway, our election bus that has been traversing the length and breadth of the country, getting you the sights and sounds of the people during this big election that we are witnessing. Now, Naveen Patnaik has enjoyed enormous popularity. No one has been able to match up to his charisma. He is undoubtedly the undisputed leader of the state. But the question is, what after him and who after him? So I'm going to ask this question. Mr. V.K. Pandian, Mr. V. Karthikeyan Pandian is emerging as a rising star. He's in fact a very prominent face. He's in all the election rallies that I've been covering. Is he the answer to that question, who after Patnaik?
No, ma'am. Pandian is not the answer for Odisha current politics right now, because the man who never relate to Odisha, he's not being a Odia, and he can never trusted by the ODIs anymore. So he's getting the benefit of Naveen Patnaik is currently very ill, and he's not being even able the condition to operate. So he's getting the benefit only, and he's spoon feeding to Naveen Patnaik, nothing else. And I can confirm you that every Odia is not going to accept Pandian anymore. He's just an officer, and let him do that.
Okay, well, this would be music to the ears of the BJP, who have been taking pot shots at Mr. V.K. Pandian, directly asking the question, just who is he to make all the decisions or take all the administrative decisions, questioning the Odisha's model of governance. Now, I got a chance to speak to the Union Minister Dharmendra Pradhan. He, in fact, is also the poster boy for the BJP. He's someone who's contesting from Sambalpur, and this is what he had to say when questioned on V.K. Pandian and other issues concerning the state of Odisha. And joining me now is Union Minister Dharmendra Pradhan, who is the BJP's poster boy and whose rise within the party has been phenomenal. In fact, he is fast emerging as the face of the BJP in Odisha politics. Mr. Pradhan, thank you so much for speaking to CNN News 18. Now, the BJP is doing everything it can to breach the BJD's fortress, but the BJP claims that no one could ever break Naveen Patnaik's record-winning streak. No one could match up to his, celebrated legacy. How do you respond, sir?
In a democracy, nobody can claim anything absolutely. Democracy is ever evolutionary and ever changing part of the story. So this time there is a wind of change in Odisha election campaigning, in Odisha politics. I can say two things. In one hand, there is a huge trust repository with Prime Minister Modi from Odia people. There is a 80 to 85%, 90% acceptability of Narendra Modi as Prime Minister, as leader in Odisha for Lok Sabha election. In other way, recently one of the meeting, Prime Minister Modi, I think in the TV18 interview for the first time.
Yes, we will get to that.
Prime Minister Modi appealed to the Odia people.
Yes.
You have given enough time to Congress. For decades, you have given opportunity to Congress.
To the BJP.
To serve the state. And also, last 25 years, you have given opportunity to BJD to serve you. But both of them have failed to make Odisha a success story. Let us give a chance to BJP. He personally appealed to the society and Odia people to give a chance to BJP for a fast BJP government in Odisha. And I am confident there is a simultaneous election of Lok Sabha and Assembly in Odisha.
Okay.
In both the election, Modi's impact will be there in voters' mindset. Already you were a major party in Odisha due to lack of governance, due to corruption, due to nepotism, due to non-performance. They are facing huge anti-incumbency factors.
I'll come to that specifically. So what's your target? Do you see the number 8 doubling? Because there has been a significant, raise in your vote share. That has seen an increase. So what are you targeting this time? 21?
21.
Out of 21?
My information and my political calculation in Odisha, BJP is going to win all the 21 Lok Sabha seats in Odisha and will form government in Odisha with a clear majority.
That's a very confident prediction, Mr. Pradhan. Mr. V.K. Pandian has just only yesterday, I think, taken a swipe at your party, and he's drawn comparisons between the state of Odisha and Gujarat. He's saying that even after 25 years, the state of Gujarat is lagging behind Odisha on several parameters. You, in fact, say that the state of Odisha is lagging in several crucial sectors.
In all the sector, with false fact, you can make fool few people for some time, few people for all the time, but you can't make fool all the people all the time with the wrong facts. Who is he? Is he elected person? Is he mandate to answer Prime Minister Modi's appeal? This is an unsuccessful attempt by Naveen Babu's PAT. Without answering politically, Prime Minister Modi has raised some pertinent issue in front of Odia society.
Then
It
why
would have
so
been
much importance attached to Mr. V.K. Pandian?
It's not for us. Those who have outsourced their party leadership, they can answer. BJP is not answerable. Why he is so important? We have a very simple argument. Facts are very glaring.
Har Ghar Jal Mission by the Odisha.
That's
or for that matter, even the Biju Swasthya Kalyan Yojana. Is that why you're so critical of these schemes?
You have mentioned two schemes.
Oh, well, they're the most talked about here. Mission Shakti also being one.
I will answer.
Why do you call them unproductive? Why do you say that they're absolutely fruitless?
Let me answer all the three questions. Give me some opportunity. The first, Har Ghar Nal Mein Jal. This scheme envisioned by Prime Minister Modi himself. Government of India has given 10,000 crores of rupees to provide drinking water to village of Odisha. CIG report categorically mentioned 800 crore are only spent. This is their performance. By fear, they have a fear. If clean drinking water will go to all the houses of Odisha, the popularity of Prime Minister Modi will increase. Let people get any clean drinking water, but Modi's popularity should not be there.
Do you think the BJP, by playing on Odia Asmita, will pay off against a party which has embraced its leader for 5 terms? Do you think that this perhaps could backfire? Because one thing is there, Mr. Pradhan, Naveen Patnaik has been the undisputed leader of this state for years on.
In my
Has
neighbor
it
state,
changed?
in the neighbor state, such kind of argument were given for leftist friends for a long period in West Bengal. Today, if you go to West Bengal, you have to take help of a binocular to find out leftist friends. Same fate will be here with the local regional party. Let me answer in the two way. Odisha has a background. Odisha is the first vernacular based independent state in our country. We have formed in 1936. We have been carved out as a state administratively in the Odia speaking area. Language is very dear to our heart. Our creation is on the basis of language. So don't underestimate what is there in the Odia language. Odia language is everything for us. And why we have carved out a administrative setup where Odia language is predominant? Because we Odia people feel in those days, and our leaders, the leaders thought, due to our lack of identity, we have been neglected by neighboring area.
Are all these issues only restricted to elections, and once elections is done, everything is a thing of the past? I'm only asking you because of the kind of bonhomie one has seen between both the parties, the camaraderie shared between the Prime Minister and the Chief Minister. He's in fact called Naveen Patnaik a Lokpriya Chief Minister. There were talks of an alliance happening, of both your parties coming together. BJD saying that it was the BJP who wanted to get into an alliance with them because they knew that their political fortunes were quite dim here.
We have 38% vote here. We are nobody's mercy. When the mercy of Odia people, a group of gang of 4 outsiders cannot dictate Odia's sentiment, Odia issues. For me, it's not a political issue. Okay. Let me categorically say, BJP was never for alliance. Somebody went to your platform. He said something on its own. This was uncalled for. We are never for alliance. When we make our stand clear, We thank.
I know you're making the reference to Mr. Pandey, and he said that he saw
Who
it
is he?
as
Who is he?
statesmanship. He saw these two great leaders coming together for a bigger
Maybe
cause.
Vishnu, he can't interpret my Prime Minister's greatness, civility, to his own advantage and own convenience. Na? Let me categorically say, yes, lot of political party has supported BJP in last 10 years. Even Congress party supported BJP in women reservation bill in floor of the house. Does that mean we will have an alliance with Congress? We are political competitor in the different areas. Here in Odisha, we are political competitors.
Camera. All right, VK Pandian has been a hot topic here in Odisha, and not just in Odisha, in national politics discourse as well. He has been, the subject of a lot of criticism and the BJP's target of attacks. We have to slip into a short break. Stay tuned. I'll be right back on our special show, Election Highway.
Chosen for the nomination of Prime Minister. Now talking.
Welcome back to our special show, Election Highway, from the beautiful state of Odisha, in particular Cuttack. And I have all these wonderful people who have been sharing their thoughts on the political scene that is dominating the state of Odisha. But today, another very important, news that happened was the Prime Minister filing his nominations from Varanasi. Amid much fanfare and enthusiasm, he even went on a cruise, and then after that he offers his prayers at the Kalbhairavi temple. So a lot of interesting, action happening on the BJP front. The Prime Minister also took some time out and spoke exclusively to CNN News 18's Rubika Liaquat, and he did address the issue on Hindu-Muslim narrative and how all of a sudden it has taken center stage in the election discourse. Listen in.
हम एक कार्यक्रम कर रहे हैं मोदी जी, न्यूज 18 इंडिया का वो कार्यक्रम है मोदी वतन मुसलमान। हम ज्यादातर उन जगहों पर जाते हैं जहां पर मुस्लिम मतदाता भारी संख्या में है। पहले आलम अलग था और आज की तारीख में मैं आपको पूरी गंभीरता से और संजीदगी से कह सकती हूं कि ऐसे ऐसे मुसलमान आगे आते हैं जो आपके लिए जान दे सकते हैं। और एक उनका वाक्य है, ना दूरी है ना खाई है, मोदी हमारा भाई है। बड़ा जोर शोर से ऐसे करते हुए नजर आते हैं। बावजूद उसके आप उस धारणा को तोड़ने में क्या नाकामयाब रहे हैं कि मोदी मुसलमानों का नहीं है?
पहली बात यह है कि ये मुद्दा मुसलमान का नहीं है। इंडिविजुअल मुसलमान कितना ही मोदी के साथ होगा, लेकिन एक निश्चित विचार प्रवाह है जो उनको आदेश करता है कि आप ये करो या आप वो करो, उसके आधार पर वो निर्णय करते हैं। जहाँ तक मोदी का सवाल है, एक तो मैं स्कूल में, एक तो मेरा जो घर है ना, मेरे अगल बगल में सारे मुस्लिम परिवार है, तो हमारे घर में ईद भी मनती थी, हमारे घर में और भी त्यौहार होते थे। मेरे घर में ईद के दिन खुद का खाना नहीं पकता था, सारे मुस्लिम परिवारों से मेरे यहाँ खाना आ जाता था, क्योंकि मेरे परिवार, हम रहते वहीं हैं, मेरा घर वहीं है, मेरे यानी 5 कदम के बाद मुस्लिम परिवार है। जब मुहर्रम निकलता था तो हमारा कंपलसरी होता था कि उससे नीचे से निकलो, जैसे परिक्रमा करते हैं ना मंदिरों में,
ताजिए के नीचे।
हाँ, तो ताजिए के नीचे से निकलो, हमें सिखाया जाता था। तो मैं उस दुनिया से पला बढ़ा हूँ। आज भी मेरे बहुत सारे दोस्त हैं पुराने। दूसरा, 2002 के बाद मेरी छवि बहुत खराब हो गई, खराब कर दी गई गोधरा के बाद। तो मैंने सोचा भाई जरा रियलिटी जाननी चाहिए, तो मैंने हमारे 30 कार्यकर्ताओं का, युवाओं का एक ट्रेनिंग कैंप किया और उनको सर्वे करना सिखाया मैंने। सर्वे मतलब वो आंकड़ों वाला सर्वे नहीं, बातचीत कैसे करनी, बात कैसे निकालनी। अहमदाबाद में एक माणिक चौक करके जगह है, वो माणिक चौक में शाम को लोग खाना खाने जाते,
खावानू ने पीवानू।
पर वहां दिन में जो बिजनेस है सारे व्यापारी है और खरीदार सारे हिंदू है। बड़ा यूनिक मार्केट है।
मतलब सारे व्यापारी मुसलमान
सारे व्यापारी मुसलमान हैं और सारे खरीदार हिंदू है। और वो इतनी भीड़ होती है जी, पैदल नहीं चल सकते आप। साइकिल को तो लेके जाना इम्पॉसिबल है। अब दिवाली में बड़ी बहुत है ना, आप अंदर गए 2 घंटे से निकल नहीं सकते और हर प्रकार की चीजें बिकती है वहां। मैंने कहा मुझे उसी मार्केट में सर्वे करना है, वहां सर्वे करो। तो मैंने इन लड़कों को भेजा और मैं डेली रिपोर्ट लेता था। वो गए, पूछते थे कि आप बताइए दिवाली कैसी है। नहीं यार दिवाली बहुत अच्छी है। ये मैं 2002 की बात कर रहा हूँ।
हाँ, मैं अभी आपसे पूछने वाली थी।
2002 की बात कर रहा हूँ। अच्छा। बोले दिवाली बहुत अच्छी है। फिर वो कहता था, उसको जरा चुभने के लिए वो कहता था, देखिए मोदी बैठा है यार, दिवाली, हे मोदी का नाम मत लो। ये बच्चा होता था उनका, बोले इसकी माँ सुनेगी ना तो मुझे रात को खाना नहीं देगी। बोले क्यों? अरे बोली मोदी नहीं आया ना तब तक ये स्कूल नहीं जाता था। बोले मोदी आया तो स्कूल जा रहा है। ये दिवाली की छुट्टियां हैं तो मेरे यहाँ दुकान पे मेरी मदद कर रहा है। बोले पहले कभी दुकान पे नहीं आता था। बोले मेरा सर फूट जाता था। बोले उसकी माँ इतनी खुश है कि मेरे बच्चे सब उनका जीवन बन रहा है। तो बोले मोदी के खिलाफ मेरे यहाँ घर में मत बोलो। बोले और करीब करीब 90% दुकान वालों का तर्क अलग अलग होंगे, यही जवाब था। दूसरा, मुझे कुछ महिला एक बार मिलने आई, मुस्लिम महिला, तो बड़ी बधाई दे रही थी। फिर कुछ अपेक्षाएं लेकर के आई थी। मैंने कहा क्या बधाई? बोले वो जुहापुरा की थी। और जुहापुरा वो है,
मैं गई हूँ जुहापुरा,
जहाँ करीब 3-4 लाख मुसलमान का एक गेटोज है। तो बोले हम वहां से आए हैं। तो मैंने कहा कोई तकलीफ है क्या? कोई पुलिस वाला, कोई सरकार कुछ हैरान करती है आपको क्या? नहीं बोले साहब, हम तो आपके अभिनंदन करने आए हैं और कुछ काम लेके आए। मैं कहा बताइए। बोले आपने बिजली का काम किया ना, बहुत अच्छा किया। मैंने कहा कहाँ? वो तो मैंने बहुत बुरा किया है। मैंने कहा मैंने 35 किलोमीटर केबल, उस इलाके 35 किलोमीटर केबल उखाड़ के फेंक दिया है और वहां कोई सरकारी आदमी नहीं जा पाता था। बोले साहब वही अच्छा काम किया है। मैंने कहा कैसे? मैंने तो बिजली काट दी, मैंने तो केबल काट दिए। बोले नहीं साहब, हमारे यहाँ आपका तो एक बोले बिजली मंत्री है। हाँ। हमारे यहाँ हर मोहल्ले में बिजली मंत्री है। और बोले बिजली दे करके वो हमसे पेमेंट लेते थे, केबल उनके थे। बोले सरकार की बिजली चोरी करके हमको बेचते थे और हमारे पैसे बहुत जाते थे। बोले अभी रेगुलर बिजली मिल रही है, कोई हमें दादागिरी नहीं करता है। बोले इसलिए हम आए हैं। पहले मेरे पर अखबारों में उस समय अखबार, मोदी ने वहां पर जुल्म कर दिया, सारे केबल काट दिए। एक्चुअली मैंने उनका भला किया। तो ऐसा मेरे जीवन में सैकड़ों घटना है जी, लेकिन मैं इसका मार्केटिंग नहीं करता हूं। क्यों? मेरा पहले से मंत्र रहा है सबका साथ सबका विकास। मैं वोट बैंक के लिए काम नहीं करता हूं और जो गलत है वो सब मैं गलत कह के रहूंगा।
Okay, so the Prime Minister once again taking a jibe at the Congress party, saying that he is not someone who plays the politics of appeasement or vote bank politics. That was the Prime Minister, an excerpt of that interview, exclusive interview to CNN News 18. All right, it's a wrap from me. Thanks so much for watching our special show from Cuttack in Odisha. Tomorrow is going to be a new day. We're going to be joining you from another place in Odisha. But now it's time for us to take a short break. News and updates continue on the other side.